This is now part 2, where we will be creating both heads, Rattanawaree. But in this part, we'll talk about how the water comes out from the tip of the restoration. How does that work? Please stay tuned and watch. This part is also another important section, which is the front, the side where the water will shoot out. You can notice that we have a hole here. 18 millimeters is not quite 2 centimeters, it's almost 2 centimeters. This is determined by the cross-sectional area of 30 centimeters after shaping it like a honeycomb. If we make it bigger, it's possible, but the water will break up into fine mist and won't travel very far. To make the water shoot out without breaking up at all, it can go about 5 meters, which is satisfactory. You can use it for many other applications. I'll open this part up for you to see. There are 24 screws here, just like before. We need to secure the outer PVC pipe tightly. That's why we really need to use all 24 screws in this case. If you remove all these screws, you'll be able to see inside the 18mm holes. It might be a bit tricky because you need to cut them with a laser. No matter what method you use, whether it's drilling or any other technique, if you drill holes in this grid plate, there will be marks left by the drill or the method used. But from our experiments, we found that if you cut with a laser, there are no seams at all. The holes are perfectly round. This is important because we don't want anything to interfere, not even water. That's why it's necessary to drill the holes very precisely and quickly. If we open this lid, we'll see the grid plate with the 18mm holes I mentioned. Inside, there's only one brush, but this time there isn't a stainless steel brush. There's only a mesh screen brush, which is also considered stainless steel because it needs to be rust-proof and secured in the same way as before. So you'll notice that at this stage, water from each of the B holes, which flows straight through a small chamber about 10 centimeters long, will reach this point and encounter a single outlet hole. Therefore, all the water will come and gather in the center here where there's a hole, right? All the pressure will combine and then be channeled out as a single stream. At this point, you can probably picture it. The water from the holes in the honeycomb section will all come together at the 8mm hole, and from there, it will flow out as one. That's about all there is in terms of details for this part. The reason we named it Rattanawaree is because we noticed that the liquid coming out is of course oil, and it is very clear, resembling a glass rod. So we used the word Rattana, which means glass or crystal, and combined it with a word that means water. We merged these two words together. It's like a clear liquid staff that we observed from the experiment, and we can even add color to it. So the liquid in the Rattanawaree staff can be any color we want. Green, blue, red, or even white. That's about it. I hope you can clearly see the method. For anyone interested in trying this out, it's definitely doable. As for the pump, it needs to be a size that is at least 1 inch or more. Otherwise, there won't be enough pressure to achieve the desired effect. When connecting the pump to the Rattanawaree staff, it's necessary to install a water gate to adjust the water pressure. Sometimes the end point where the water needs to fall into the tank so it can be pumped back again might be too close or too far, so we need to be able to adjust it. Also, when placing the stirring head, even without water, it can be quite heavy. It weighs about 7 to 8 kilograms because the stainless steel used here is 2 centimeters thick. It's very thick because we need to withstand the water pressure, so it has to be quite sturdy. This technique also requires the surface to be very smooth, so it must be cut with a machine to ensure both sides are even, especially when attaching the shaft and the round blade. When these parts are joined together, the surfaces must fit very tightly. After securing the screws, we also need to seal it with silicone to prevent any pressure from leaking out. Sometimes even a small water leak can be a problem, especially if it's used indoors, as it wouldn't look neat. Therefore, it's essential to make sure there are absolutely no leaks, and thorough testing is required. As for Mr. John, next up, there will be an activity where the pump is connected to the Rattanawaree head. Please stay tuned to see how it goes.